Bridechilla 30 Days of Wedding Planning. I am creating a new video every day to help you plan your wedding and contain your chill. Maintain is what I'm trying to say. I am the host of the Bridechilla podcast and founder of the Bridechilla movement. We've got a fantastic Facebook group. You may be watching this on Facebook, I don't know. And it's called the Bridechilla community. And also I'm the author of these here books. There you go. There's the money shot. Which you can buy at bridechillastore.com. However, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here today to ask if you, my friend, need a Pintervention. What is a Pintervention? Well, it's pretty obvious. Are you on Pinterest and Instagram? An Instagram-vention. Can't say it, it's not as good. I'm really looking at social media and an overload of wedding inspiration. Now, I'm a big fan of Pinterest as a mechanism for collating ideas, which is what it's all about. But there's a way to use Pinterest that works really well, and there's a way to use Pinterest that becomes this overloading, hugely dominating page of stuff that you'll never use and you'll never be able to share with anyone because there's just too much going on. You've pinned 100 photos of the same thing. So, as well as saying, sometimes it's great to step back from the computer and be inspired by what is outside. Maybe you are reading a book or a magazine, or you're going to a gallery or a furniture shop. I get so much inspiration from vintage furniture shops. Oh my God. Watching Mad Men, or, you know, there is so much inspiration out there that isn't just on a screen, for one. But also, when you're using Pinterest and Instagram, probably more Pinterest I want to talk about today, there are ways to use it and things to set up to make sure you're getting the most value for your time. Because, as I always say, your time is valuable. We have very limited time in our lives, and you've probably got 50 other things going on in your life besides just wedding planning. So make sure when you're honing in on making decisions and finding inspiration that you're actually using your time in a good way, and that you can use what you've got, what you've pinned and organized, to then give to vendors or share with someone to then make what you want happen. So I've had some great guests on the Bridechilla podcast talking about how to use Pinterest well. And there was an episode recently that where I was talking with the designer, Michelle. She's a wedding planner, and she was sort of saying she really encourages her clients to use Pinterest and find a way to organize their boards as sort of like one big brain dump, and then to hone in, deleting things, don't leave stuff, deleting things as you go, to the point where then you're getting a separate board, or you've honed this one board into a board that only contains 7 or 8 pins of inspiration, which you can then share with a florist or a wedding planner or the hairdresser. You're not sending people a board with 50,000 pins on it because no one gives a shit about your 50,000 pins. Truth. Mic drop. So, the key takeaways from this short but ranty video today are that feel the room when it comes to Pinterest. Look at what you are needing to be inspired by and what you're getting ideas about. The other thing about Pinterest, sorry, just backtracking. Don't know why I'm pointing at you like I'm a crazy. The other thing about Pinterest is sometimes it can make you question decisions that you've made and things that you've gone, I really want to fill my whole wedding with porcelain animals. And you get really obsessed with it and you buy a bunch of them. This is not, I bought these because I like them. Rich thinks they're ugly. But you go, I'm really into that theme. I love it. I've committed. I've bought things. And then you go back to Pinterest and you start pinning again. And then you think, maybe I'm not into the porcelain animals. Yeah, I've bought 40 of them, but maybe I want to go for tigers instead. And so I think when you don't know when to shut it off and when to close the board down, that it can get a little overwhelming, and then you can start to double question your decisions. That is the last thing I would like you to be doing. So I think it's important to really hone in on what is important to you. What's important is important, double importance. And then make sure you are organized, you step away from the screen, and then also once you've filled a board with 10 or 15 things, move on to a new board. Be organized, label things, and then also you can share your boards with your vendors in a really easy way. It's literally a click of the button, email, invite to board. And then that's a great way for them to see what you're inspired by. And then they can also jump in. If you do a shared board, they can jump in and chuck a few things in as well. Hey, presto, organized, done. But I do say, make sure you find inspiration other than just Pinterest and Instagram. There's a lot out there. Look into the world. If you're enjoying these videos and you'd like to share them with your friends, this one was a bit crazy today, but that's me. I would highly encourage you to do so. And if I haven't met you in the Bridechilla Facebook community, find us. It's an open community. You've got to answer a couple of questions. We just don't like jerks in there. So if you would like to be a non-jerk member, which is probably 99.9% of the people watching, we invite you in. And it's a really great place to connect with other Bridechillas, find great vendor inspiration, and just get stuff done. If you would like to listen to the podcast, simply search for Bridechilla. I don't know why I'm doing that all the time, wherever you find your podcasts. And I look forward to sharing more information in the 30 days of wedding planning tomorrow. Be sure to subscribe and tune in. And I love meeting new Bridechillas, so make sure you leave a comment below, introduce yourself, and tell me where you are in your wedding planning journey.